Hey everyone, welcome back to today's video. If you haven't watched my other videos, please check them out, especially after this video. Now this video, of course you can see by the title, is going to be about VHS 1994, which brings me back particularly to the 90s where I was born, and I enjoyed that. Growing up with space boots, we had Mortal Kombat action figures that you'd like spin, they'd hit each other. We had those crazy commercials that almost seemed either too extraordinary, too exciting to be on TV, and it would make our little kid head explode with like candy. The pop rocks would just come out of our head. We'd be so excited. We wouldn't even know how to handle why we watched this. And that makes it a really good movie to watch. It brings you back and has a lot of nostalgic vibe for it, which can make a good benefit on many people's lives. There are ways that they did set up this movie, and there are four mini movies inside of one of these movies, and there are a series of 3 or 4 of them. I watched 1994, and in that one, there are 4 different movies. I'm not going to spoil it for people, but the idea out from this one itself, this part of the series, and I would expect the other ones to be similar, and not saying that in a negative way, just being like it is really cool as a whole. If we were to gather all the information that I've collected today and be like, wow, that sort of makes sense, then we'd be like, yeah, that sort of makes sense. And the important part of the film is it always keeps an abundance of, I would say, shock value, which is a necessity in a lot of horror films, or just something that is of mystery or spontaneous. If you are one of those types of people that look for stuff where you want to maybe expect the unexpected, then this is a movie series for you. Now, it's been running not from the 90s, but it's actually from the early 2020s, and it brings just back some nostalgic feeling to people who wanted to maybe always go back there. I've always found that the more old something is, the more creepier, the more distant and far away it is. And as someone that has all these types of things on my channel, I truly believe that it is a necessity and a part of life. There is a necessary evil, and then there's a chaotic evil that's like really just bad and just not a necessity in life that you need. Although there are some people that live their lives like that, they're most likely locked up in prison. Now on my side of it, and other people's side as well, they might be thinking that, well, what really has in value of this movie for me? And not just nostalgia, not just shock value. It'll bring you back as a whole and just start laughing at just something totally new. So it seems old and nostalgic, and it's also new, the present and the future when you watch this. And I feel like that's really cool when you're watching a movie and you actually get to see that, then you enjoy that a lot. One major example of it, and I want to flow through that in your brains, your big spatial brains, because you're an exciting person and you want to know that. The really important part to note is when you are one of those people that like to expect the unexpected, remember this, there is a 5-second gap about that most people have, and then we get excited about something because there's a decision-making process that's done. And it usually takes a span of 1 to 5 seconds, maybe 1 to 7 seconds to figure out what that is. Anything that would be seen as good, for an example, inside of the movie when they're going out there, and here's an idea of it. We don't know what's going to happen. We really don't know. And they really act really well in the way of portraying that you will never know what's going to happen. In fact, I watched it and I'm one of those people that like to know for an exact what's going on with a movie, and I just really wasn't following it, but the idea of it later on made sense of what they're doing. And it's not really a spoiler here, I don't want to say that, but if you think that something might be a spoiler in the future, you can just pause the video right now. I'll give you a couple of seconds to do that. And what they did was, inside of the movie itself, is have that time gap, and then they would say something, or they would make an action part of that movie, and it's almost like everyday people going out there and thinking and stuff. There is no really tied too strong of an emotion inside of it. You know how you'd watch I'm just gonna say it, The Notebook or something, and then your heart gets it starts beating faster out of your chest because you're so in love with the character. A tear drops from your eye, and then all sadness breaks loose in your house, and now you gotta call a psychiatrist and be look, I have sadness going on, can you please help me? And then they'll prescribe you pain medication because they just want to hand it out to everyone. I'm just kidding, that's only a joke. With what they do inside of that movie, instead of acting something that would be as a positive, they would almost make it twist into a negative. You have that time period to make a good positive choice, and you totally make the wrong one, and you start just killing a bunch of people. There's a lot of massacre and violence inside of this movie itself and this series as a whole, because I watched the 4 series of it, inside of 1994. And there are 1991, 2, and 3, and 4. You get to check them all out and enjoy them. In each series, there's a few different short films inside of them, which can be enjoyed by each person. I just find it unbelievable that someone would be like, oh, I have this time period to make a really good decision, and then just say, you know what, I'm gonna make a bad decision and just like kill everyone. I'm just gonna defame myself. Instead of treating yourself good in a conversation where maybe you're having an argument and you are trying to make a positive decision and you know that you could do it. Imagine going in court and saying, you know what, you thought it would have been a good decision and it's really not. And where you're really going from here, you feel like you just decimated your own vitality itself, mental health, or whatever it is. Trying to figure out the name, but like, boom, kaboom, I'm stupid sometimes, and that's okay. Check out that movie, VHS 1994. If you want to see something that is just out of this world, that brings back the past for nostalgia, something new and something present for the idea that you don't know what's coming, and for something that's present is the joke that's inside of it, which is like it just brings two and two together in just one part of like what they do in the series. You got to get through the fact though that it's like emotionless inside of it, and that's sort of like how a lot of like, you know, I would say that like bad things happen in life. Like if you're an emotionless person and you start to be like, oh, I don't have feelings, maybe I'll create pain for other people. Like that's what I mean. Like you have a choice to like, you feel nothing, but you have a choice to go out there and either hurt someone or not. And they go out there and they just like murder people and stuff, and like, you know, it's just totally, it's funny. It's funny. Like, subscribe, comment, check out my other videos. They are awesome. I do work really hard on them. I'm not gonna like preach anymore. Like just do whatever you want, but like I have good videos that no one cares about the hard work that I do because I'm new, and that's okay. But please like the video, comment, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and you know, say something really disturbing. I don't care. Have fun. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you later. Bye.